I just got out of a meeting with Ryan Kulp. Ryan Kulp is the founder of FOMO, which is a top Shopify app, and also runs Fork Equity. For those of you that might not know, we bought a Shopify app company called Simple Apps about 4 months ago. It was $2,500 and it generates about $400 a month. In this video, we're gonna sit down with the guy I bought the company from, Ryan Kulp, and talk about his investment strategy and what you should look for in buying new companies. Now, this might not seem relevant to you right now, but if I was working in a corporate job where I could have stashed away like $5,000, $6,000 and I saw this video you're about to see, I would never have started a company. I would have bought a company. So in this video, I wanna go through that strategy. 3 things you should know when buying a company for under $10,000. If you've been on the fence about starting a business, this is how you're gonna get into entrepreneurship. Number 1 is figure out a budget and an investment thesis.
At first, it's literally just subscribing to information. If you're not aware of what's going on in the markets, then you can't really make good choices. So what I like to do is find a company that I think is interesting, and then I try to find 5 of their competitors. And then I try to do my own analysis of what differentiates them. Who do I think is bigger or better? Who has raised venture money versus who is bootstrapped and has like maybe a chip on their shoulder, right? So all these things get kind of interesting to look at, and you don't know any of that, and you're not cognizant of those probabilities unless you look at tons of companies.
Number 2 is negotiate a deal.
We look all the time at acquisition announcements from Google and big companies and small companies. Sometimes they'll say, cash value, stock value, but no matter what they say, it still may be the case that there's a 24-month literal payback period where there's a seller side financing. And I've done deals like that too. And of course that takes a lot of trust, but it now enables this buyer to acquire an asset and they'll own it outright on day one and then pay it off over time. And that's a really high leverage way to get these deals done. So if you're listening to this and you have even $20,000 and you're thinking, okay, what can I get for 20,000? You actually might want to think of it in terms of what can I get for 80,000, because I can pay 20K down and I can maybe pay $5,000 a month or a few grand a month over time. And even if you don't have $5,000 extra a month, maybe you have $1,500 extra a month, but the company you're going to buy for 80,000 makes 3,000 a month. Now combine your 1,500 with 3,000. As long as you're willing to work for free for 8 months, you now can afford an $80,000 business with 20. That was one of the biggest things, eye openers to me too. The leverage that you get from upfront cash, deposits, seller side financing, being creative, but also being honest and genuine in how you get the deal done. You can do a lot with less.
And 3 is reinvest all the profits in a team for as long as possible.
When you buy an app and just sit on it, you may actually be harming yourself in the long term. You can wait 12 months and you can afford that and break even. But that's assuming that your app and the market for your app exists in a vacuum. What if your app is about to have its lunch eaten by a brand new competitor? I know how developers are, and they're going to look at that. And if you don't do too much with it over the next couple months, then they might try to compete with you. And you sitting on it saying, well, I'm just going to make my money back and profit from it later, may actually be riskier than spending, a few hours a month with the developer and blowing the $200 or $300 or $400 revenue a month on that developer to get it to a more formidable place, so that then in a few months you can begin that hold sitting on it and getting your ROI period.
What are some of your questions after seeing this video? Let me know down in the comments. If you found this valuable, be sure to share it with a friend or two. We're trying to hit 100,000 subs this year, and every share is much appreciated. And if you need marketing support for your digital agency, check out experiment27.com. Thanks.